once again, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm Susan Arbetter.
I'm Joe Donahue.
As you special effects for movies like The Matrix, X-Men, Judge Dredd, What Dreams May Come, Predator, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and Chicken Run were created either here or in the Berkshires by people who live there.
It's true, and today we're going to meet a pair of animators who are heavily connected to Hollywood, but who live here in our region.
That is correct, Joe. Eugene Mammoet conducts a weekly multimedia talk called Hollywood in the Berkshires throughout the summer.
And Irina Borisova conducts a series of animation workshops to teach people how to create their own animated films.
Together, they have created a new museum in Lee, Massachusetts called amc, and today we're going to be talking about it with them.
We're going to meet both of them, and then Paul Elisha will be along with Performance Place. It's all coming up in the Roundtable. First news from the BBC.
You may be under the impression that the special effects that appear in Hollywood films are created in Hollywood. The fact is that for a lot of movies, the effects are developed right here in our listening area.
In the Berkshires, to be specific, and these aren't small films we're talking about either. Clio and Academy Award-winning special effects creator Eugene Mammoet and animation artist Irina Borisova have worked on such notable films as The Matrix, Predator, Zelig, and Starship Troopers.
And now the two have put their creative minds to work on a new museum of animation in the Berkshires called amc, a hands-on learning museum showcasing the Berkshire-based talent behind movies like The Lord of the Rings, X-Men, Chicken Run, and others.
Mahmoud, a Lee resident, won an Academy Award in 1986 for his groundbreaking special effects work and developed the camouflage effect in the movie Predator. Award-winning Lee-based artist Borisova was the director of the Ukraine's State Puppet Theater and has done the animation, claymation, and modeling for numerous movies and commercials around the world.
Eugene Mammoet and Irina Borisova, welcome to the Roundtable.
Thank you.
Tell us how amc, the museum, came to be, Eugene.
So it was a very long dream to make education place and museum somewhere, but its idea came from Tom Gasek. He was shooting commercial here in Berkshire, and someday people came to see his stage and his creation, and people coming, and someday he said, "Oh, it's a lot of people coming. It will be nice to make museum here." And I said, "Oh, this is it. Now, time to make museum," because I was dreaming about this long time, but we was not sure to live here in Berkshire or go back to New York. And when we decided to live here forever, we made this museum.
Well, how did you come to the Berkshires?
I came part with Mass Illusion. Mass Illusion company here started shooting movies, and I was working with Joe Hynek and Jeff Glazer in New York City, and then they called me and said, "Eugene, be part in our team in Berkshire."
And this was Mass Illusion?
Yeah, it was Mass Illusion.
And you just stayed here, and now you and Irina work together?
Right.
Okay. I'm surprised that so many special effects creators and animators live in the Berkshires. Is it all because of Mass Illusion, or are there other companies that do the same thing?
Yes, a lot of companies here. Like in North Adams, we have Glazer Walza company. In Great Barrington, we have Powder Keg. It's Eric Wilson company. And out of Head Animation is Tom Gasek company. And in Great Barrington, we have great modeling company is Chamberlain Group. So it's a lot of activity here.
So how do you work with each other?
Yeah, all the project was they doing together. For example, when Tom Gasek out of Hand Animation shooting commercial, he asked for models from Chamberlain Group, and if somebody needs part of the work, they order from each other. So because all these people is friends.
So basically, one company came to the Berkshires, and many others followed.
Yes, and a lot of people who live here now, they used to work in New York City in our Greenberg Associates. Mm-hmm. We did Predator, Predator 2, all these movies.
Right.
Yeah, there's some great movies. I mean, basically, the biggest movies that have special effects like The Matrix and The Lord of the Rings were done here in the Berkshires.
Not exactly. A lot of the ring was done by...
Or almost.
by John Nugent. And he went to New Zealand and he was working on Lord of the Ring. For example, like Tom Gasek, he was working on Chicken Run. He didn't make Chicken Run here. He went to Bristol near London, and he was working on Chicken Run.
Okay, so the animators and the special effects creators would go to where the movie is being made, but they're based in the Berkshires.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And a lot of movie was done here, like Matrix bullet time effect was created here by Mass Illusion Group. And What Dreams May Come as special effects was conceived here in Berkshires. And Razor, it's a lot of movie. And Judge Dredd, it's a lot of movie was conceived here, and special effects was done here. I don't want to say that all movie was done here. It's not true. You understand that?
No, right, we understand.
1,000 people working on the movie, not one company, not one person, but Berkshire company did part of this big work.
Now, I want to ask you a very large question, actually for the both of you, and hopefully be as concise as possible, but give us a sense of how you get your work, in the sense of how a director comes to you and says, I need this special effect, how you go about working on it, and then ultimately what we would see in a museum.
Yes, this is, for example, when we was working on Predator, Warner Brothers came to us and they said, we need effect that this predator appear and disappear, click button and disappear. So we was working on this effect and did a lot of different tests, and one particular test they like it, and this is how this effect was done. And this movie Predator was awarded for R. Greenberg Associates, and around 30 people now live here in Berkshire who is involved in this project. But if you go to our museum, you will see all history, how special effects was established here, because this was done from Doug Trumbull. He came here about 15 years ago, and his first project was Back to the Future, The Ride in Housatonic, and after this, all specialists fly and follow him. So he is pioneer, and he has established all this movie industry here in Berkshire.
So, Irina, when we come to Animagic in Lee, what will we see?
Okay, we will see a showcase of our local talented people who did special effects and animation here. We see some posters and some originals like models of from commercials. What we did, like in stop motion animation commercials, we did with Tom Gasick, and all history started from Douglas Trumbull, all those people who followed him, and Mass Illusion in Lennox, and we have stand for Glazer Volchek there in North Adams, located in Masmoka.
But when I understand that there are a lot of hands-on things that...
Yes, okay, and we have some movie clips and 3D, and we have workshop for people who want to know how to do their own animation and special effects.
Oh, yeah.
Teach people how to do animation in 2 hours.
You conduct a series of animation workshops, right?
Yes.
So these are 2-hour workshops, and do the people actually leave with a film of their own animation?
Yes, absolutely. They did their own model and then shoot in animation and then put to videotape, and then they doing editing like sound effects and sound and music and titles, and then we transferred everything for video to videotape, and then we're going home with their own videotape with their masterpiece on this tape.
Right. A very basic question. When we talk about animation and the animation that you're working on, of course, some people may think of animation as Disney, of cartoon animation or even computer animation. And you're basically talking about special effects animation, correct?
No, we're doing different kind of animation, like claymation, cell animation, cutout animation, 2D computer animation, everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Yes, even we can teach you how to do slit scan effect. This is what Douglas Trumbull invented for 2001 Space Odyssey. So it's not only animation, special effects too.
You, Eugene, also have a multimedia talk called Hollywood in the Berkshires that you're giving throughout the summer. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, this 1 hour presentation, I show people how film industry came to Berkshire, and while I show these people, I show clips from this movie, what was done by Berkshire people, and films and commercials. So now a lot of people who not only tourists, people who even live here in Berkshire, they said, "Oh, we live here all life. We didn't know that so much film and movie and commercial was done here in Berkshire."
Where are you guys from?
From Ukraine.
From the Ukraine, okay. And you came here separately, I understand.
Yes, I came 24 years ago and was working in New York for Art Greenberg Associates. And Irina came 10 years ago.
And the two of you work together?
Yes.
Yes.
Gotcha. So why did you decide to create a museum, though?
Because education was all my life. I was working in Ukraine, like educator in Polytechnic Institute, and here I was working for movie production. And then I said, "Oh, I can combine all this together and educate people how to do this." Because I believe that any genius invention you can explain very, very simple, and you can do this by yourself because it's. If you know how to do this, you can do this. Okay, and people who come to us, people from 5 to 95, it's all ages. They came to us, and 2 hours after this workshop, they know they can do it. They cannot create big movie in 2 hours, but in 2 hours they go on all step from the beginning to the end, and after this 2 hours they know, oh, I know now how to do this. I can do now everything what I want to do.
You invented something called the camouflage effect, Eugene, for the movie Predator, for which you won an Academy Award. What is the camouflage effect?
Yes, this was done with Joel Hynek. He's now in LA, and we was working together, and this effect was done not on computer. If you remember camouflage effect, this is the Predator. When he want to disappear, he push button, and we cannot see him. When he is moving, we see something like background distortion.
Oh, right.
When he is still, you cannot see him. And it was done not by computer, it was done by actual simple chemical method. And we created special machine for this. It was called optical special effects printer, and this printer now in New York Museum of Moving Image.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, this is still best printer in the world. Why? Because nobody needs it anymore. Nobody tried to do something better because this is history now, and this printer now in a museum.
You know, in the actual filmmaking process, here you are, won an Academy Award for your work. How active are you in the actual production of the film? I mean, do you feel somewhat removed that you're really in a laboratory somewhere creating the stuff that eventually gets utilized in the film?
Yes, actually, this work in the movies is very, very hard work, and all people who work with me in this industry, it's like every day 17 or 20 hours per day. Okay, it's very hard work. It's not come automatically. Okay, and I'm still doing this kind of work in our own studio, amc.mpg, doing a project. It's based by project to project. And same time, it's our amc museum now. It's our main goal.
And people can stop by, right?
Yes, people stand by from 1 to 5, from Wednesday to Sunday. Because when we're doing workshop, we close museum. It's not much space there, so we cannot do the same time.
Well, I'm going to give out your phone number, okay? It's 413-243-2051. That's 413-243-2051. Again, Animagic, the museum, is located on Main Street in Lee, Massachusetts, and they also have a website, which is www.mambor.com/animagic. That's mambor.com/animagic. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Eugene Mamut and Irina Borisova, I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck to you. I hope that we see your stuff in the movies again.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you for having us.
Sure.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.